Okay, so I am Mamia Agbese, and I'm presenting an area of my research today, which is me working towards creating a business case for AI ethics by integrating the ethical requirements of AI in software engineering practices. All right, so I am Mamia Agbese, and I'm a doctoral researcher here at the University of Jyväskylä. I'm currently in my second year, and my current area of research is, like I mentioned earlier, is about we're integrating ethical requirements of AI into software engineering practices. Currently looking at management practices because we are trying to build or create a business case for AI ethics. I have a background in computer science and management with a bit of retail thrown in there. So this is a passion for me as well, artificial intelligence. And I'm pretty stoked to see how far this research will go on. Okay, so first of all, we'll start with a definition, a teeny tiny definition of AI or artificial intelligence. Almost everyone is used to what AI is now, but I found this rather concise definition of it on the web, which talks about that it's been a branch of computer science that studies machine intelligence. So basically, artificial intelligence is just simulation of human intelligence or human intelligence processes by machines to create processes or computing that is similar to human intelligence. So artificial intelligence is a simulation of human intelligence by machines. And it's quite prevalent everywhere right now. You have here in search engines such as Google, content recommendation systems like Netflix, YouTube, which you're all quite familiar with, self-driving vehicles, autonomous vehicles like Tesla and their likes, automatic language translation, which helps a lot, such as the one we use in Teams. We have facial recognition system like our mobile phones these days. They all have like facial recognition, most of them. Computer games, for those people who play computer games, I'm not such a fan because I don't know how to play them. Then you also have spam filters as well. So AI is practically in every aspect of modern civilization, I would say. So that means AI is everywhere. So if you go to a lounge, this picture depicts everything about AI being everywhere. You go to a meeting room, AI is there. You have like a smart systems that tell you how much of your resources, such as your seating arrangement or whatever, it monitors and it tells you how much of it has been utilized. AI does that. You're using, if you're watching, you have like interconnected system, IoT, Internet of Things devices, which AI also plays an important role in learning about the environment and reporting to make things more efficient for users. You have your, like we mentioned, your entertainment. If you're watching Netflix, it can recommend for you. YouTube, it can recommend for you. So basically what's happening is that most software engineering businesses nowadays are leveraging AI to automate tasks, improve decision-making processes. And the ultimate goal is to enhance customer experience, which means increase customer buy-in. Most consumers want these products, so they're asking for them. So software engineering businesses are leveraging AI to provide these services for them. Also, we must not forget the current sensation, ChatGPT, which is a chatbot that is taking over the world by storm, which is taking over the world. And it's also an implementation of AI. So AI is everywhere. So why is this a problem? Why would anyone want to have a problem with a service basically that is improving our lives, improving our decision making, making life easier for us, including improving our interconnectedness, improving our well-being? Why is this a problem? Prior to AI, the answer lies in machine learning, I would say. Machine learning is one of the modern approaches to developing artificial intelligence. Machine learning involves using data from users, society as a whole, and algorithms, very intelligent algorithms, to help in providing the service we mentioned, either helping you with recommendation, helping you with your learning, whatever it is that the AI does using machine learning. It takes data and then it applies algorithms to it. And then at the end of the day, you have improved decision making, you have improved user experience, you have improved learning, and you have improved it, like your IoT devices are improved as well. So at the end of the day, your life is better using machine learning. So we have AI, we have improved machine learning. So what is the problem with that? The problem lies keenly. One of the key areas of the challenges we have is in data. The use of people's data, and then using algorithms to influence this data to provide information or a service to the end users. This is one of the problems. Why is this a problem? Because we have, it can create bias if data is not properly done, not properly harnessed from the right sources. It can cause inclusion problems. It can ensure that only a particular segment of people are given preference if bad data is used. The machine learning technology being used, we have like deep learning, which is, we have different layers of artificial intelligence, or what we call them artificial neural networks, which is the way machine learning works, is that you have data nodes, which are like points basically, and it's arranged the way that the human brain is, and then you put data in between. Some of them are so opaque that the layers are so densely packed that even the people who are developing the system have no knowledge of how the outcome comes about. So you give the machine input, it does its magic within the middle layer, and then brings an output. And they can't even explain to you what they've done. So there's no transparency in the process there. So that is also an issue. We have accountability. There are different layers involved in machine learning and also in the interconnectedness of systems using AI. And there are no clear delineations of who is accountable for what. Take, for instance, an automated vehicle. There's a very common one, or a popular one, about a Tesla taxi, basically a Tesla car that hit a passerby who was walking, and the person died. The court found it very hard to assign assign any form of accountability, because who do you blame? The person driving the car said he set it in autonomous mode. The car was supposed to be in autonomous mode and be able to identify as a human being, but yet it was unable to do that. So who is the court going to find culpable? Is it the driver or Tesla? Which part of the automated system? So it also creates problems when it comes to accountability as well. There are also cognitive issues that have to do with like your cognition as a human being, how much of it is being harnessed into the systems, basically, which is also another problem, because it brings up issues such as another area of AI, anthropomorphism, where human beings, you have like human features being assigned to machines or robots, and people are deceived into thinking they're dealing with human beings, number one, or people tend to relate with some sort of skepticism if it's something they can actually see. So that's also another problem. We also have security issue, which is a really big one, because while AI can be embedded in physical format, like in robots, most AI is in the virtual space, it's embedded in systems, and most of them are connected to the internet for it to get maximum functionality out of them. So you also have the problem of security there. Who can break into your system, who can attack your system, who can take control of your data and probably make it unfit. There's so many avenues that cybersecurity poses a problem for AI, as opposed to human security as well. We talked about data not too long ago. Data poses a huge problem. If you're taking my data, how sure am I it's being secured? How sure am I somebody else not going to gain unauthorized access to this data and use it for their own interest? We also have issues like deep fake. You wake up one morning and you find out that someone has created a deep fake of what you've done. And sometimes it looks like it's you, but it's not you. So there's AI there. We also have another arm of AI, which deals with robots, or as I say, robots, right? That's still far in the future, I would say. But if we're making artificial intelligence and we're giving them cognition, making them more moral, then we also have that issue that are they going to be held morally responsible, or are the people creating them going to be held responsible? We've also talked about the bias earlier on. So currently, the main issues associated with artificial intelligence are in these two segments, the ethical part and then the legal part. Legal, like we talked about, the governance issue, confidentiality, liability, accuracy, decision-making. Then the ethical aspect, which we're looking at, regulation, privacy, mitigation of bias, transparency, relevance. Having said these two aspects are kind of intertwined together. So it's not like you're separating one out of the other. They work hand in hand together. Okay, so AI ethics, I've talked about them for a while. What is it? It's just a branch of ethics of technology, and it deals with the moral behavior of humans in the design and development of AI. AI ethics is broad because we talked about machine ethics, which is an aspect, but currently we're looking at the people, the processes that they create, and the organizations that engineer AI, and how we can make them more responsible to create AI systems that the society and users at large can trust, use with peace of mind, and for the well-being, the betterment of society at large. Okay. What are the requirements of AI ethics? Just basically, AI ethics, there are over 80 principles associated with AI ethics, such as privacy, transparency, accountability, bias. These are the main ones. However, we have over 80 of them, but we have 11 of them that have become increasingly more popular in the field of AI ethics, because these are the ones that form a convergence with the AI principles that are available all over the world. Currently, we have over 100 AI ethics principles, like I mentioned earlier, but each is like is specific to the region where it emanates from. So say from the EU, we have the trustworthy guideline, which has been used by researchers and technical people, and all the anybody associated with AI has to have some sort of guideline from the EU, the trustworthy EU guideline from the EU. You also have guidelines from Canada specific to that region. You have some from America specific to that region, from China specific to that region. So different regions have regulations that are specific to them. So overall, the requirements of AI, just what do we need to have in place in respect to a particular principle to make sure that considerations, ethical requirement or AI ethics considerations are made when designing these systems. Why is it becoming more pertinent or more important for AI ethics and its requirements to be implemented in software engineering development or software businesses or in the engineering of AI? Governmental strategies and regulation. We have the GDP, which is the General Data Protection Act, and it states that each user must give consent before the data can be taken, in a nutshell. So we have such government intervention to try and make sure that, that the AI out there being used is not just taking your data and doing whatever it wants to do with it. We have EU policies, which is still GDPR. We have social acceptance. I'll say that as society is becoming more aware of AI and some of the risk it poses in the form of data, like we talked about, there's an increasing awareness. So humans are demanding more, that people are more transparent in the way that they engineer AI, so that the end user is not just left in the dark. So society is becoming more aware, which is one of the increasing demands for AI. We have international organizations like Alisoma, the IEEE also. They've also gone a long way also to make sure that there are guardrails in place for AI ethics, and then standards as well, such as the IEEE Standard 7000 for 2021. It also talks about taking AI ethics consideration in designing, developing, and deploying AI systems. Okay. Currently, what we found so far in our study is that for AI development, representation of ethical requirements for software engineering businesses are in two main categories. The legal aspect, such as is categorized as legal or a legal requirement, which uses GDPR as one of the main tools, one of the main legal tools. So as such, companies, organizations are forced to have some sort of GDPR Act or GDPR guardrail in their AI design. I've already mentioned an example of this. If you access any website and it's using AI or any kind of intelligent system to collate your data, it will ask for your consent. So if you don't give it, it does not have the authority to harness your data, unlike previously, when they could do that without regard for societal input. There's also a version of the United States also has its own version of the GDPR. I can't quite remember its name as well, but other regions as well are making sure that some sort of protection is in place to help protect that. So in terms of software engineering businesses, GDPR or legal requirements is a strong representation of AI ethics and its requirements. And also at the technical level, or should I say at the developmental level, AI ethics is also as part of the requirements engineering, such as functional and non-functional requirements. AI ethics are also visible there. It used to be more about non-functional requirements, such as the quality of the AI system, but increasingly as regulations such as GDPR become more prevalent, the functional aspect too is coming into place. So we're having AI ethics being disseminated within software engineering businesses. However, there's still a lot of work to be done. So the goal, basically what I'm looking at currently, is how to improve the visibility of AI ethics and its requirements within software engineering businesses. We've talked about how it serves as a legal requirement and also as a technical requirement. But our goal is to try and improve its visibility, that is, harness whatever value AI ethics and its requirement has, so that we can create a business case for it. What do we mean by a business case? Business case is we're trying to see how do we improve the visibility of the value that AI ethics or its requirement has for a business. What value do businesses see, software engineering businesses see in AI ethics? Can they harness its value can they make it viable for business in any way? Can they leverage the risk it poses to improve its value? How expensive, how costly is it to implement AI ethics? And what benefits do they hope to gain by it? These are currently the things that we're looking at to try and improve the visibility of AI ethics. In terms of the value of AI ethics, we looked at, we talked about what requirements are considered essential by software engineering management stakeholders. We have a myriad of requirements out there. Which ones are considered important? Obviously, you can't implement all of them, but which ones do you see as important for your business? Because each business is, whatever requirements you have for a business is subject to how important its relation to the business, what value it brings to the business. So what requirements are considered essential or valuable by software engineering business management stakeholders? And what value can these requirements provide for them? What do they hold for them? How can we improve the value of what we have already? These are some of the key areas we're looking at. We carried out a brief study where we harnessed some ethical requirements, and then we presented them in the form of a canvas model. the Canvas model is pretty popular because it helps businesses to map their resources to their strategy to see what it holds for them, what value it has for them. So we identified some key requirements, and we're asked this question here today: that what value can traceability hold for a business? We identified like 7 of them: traceability, communication, data quality, access to data, privacy and data, system security, and fairness. So what value does either one of these hold for software engineering businesses? How can they promote these values towards responsible AI practices? Most importantly, how can they enhance stakeholder engagement and buy-in? How can the stakeholders be brought in or be actively keenly interested in these requirements? How can these requirements increase trust among users in the society? These are some of the things we're looking at. How can these requirements increase, like as a user, if I don't know anything about AI ethics and I'm putting this in, is there of any benefit for me? But on the other hand, if I'm a user that I'm well aware of ethics and its requirement, will this increase trust in the technology for me and society at large? And for business, it's all about making profit. So at the end of the day, we also ask the question, how can these requirements increase sales? How can they translate to sales at the end of the day? How does it affect our bottom line as a business? These are some of the questions we ask, and I'm sure we're open to discussion for that as well. So like I said earlier, I'm Mamia, and the goal of my research is how to make a business case for AI ethics.